Okay. Okay. I gotta do the Raw review, and I'm exhausted because I feel like I've been asleep, even though I haven't been asleep. And you guys, I'm not energetic. I'm not good for this because you guys know that more than most people, I try to talk up WWE. I try to talk about the good things. I try to say, hey, maybe that segment wasn't so great, but it could be building to something later on down the line. Maybe the promo wasn't good, but the match was good, or maybe the match wasn't great, but the story is okay. Guys, when the only thing I genuinely liked on the show was the return of John Cena, we are in fucking trouble. Oh yes! What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with a very unenthusiastic May 30th Raw review. We started off the show. I had... Part of my disappointment for this show is I had a lot of hope for this show. We were supposed to get the 7th participant in the Money in the Bank match. We were going to see John Cena come back and do something. We were going to see the Dudleys versus Enzo and Cass. We were going to see a bunch of things. A bunch of cool things were supposed to happen. Maybe get some more build towards the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I just didn't have it. We started off with a Memorial Day salute and video package, and to all my friends in the States, genuinely, happy Memorial Day to all of you guys. I get the meaning behind it. I mean, we have Remembrance Day up here in Canada. I get the solemnness of it, but because I'm not in the States, and I hate this, I used to say all the time, because I used to watch a lot of guys over in the UK that would mock the Americans and the Americana and how we always start off WrestleMania with the American National Anthem, because everybody, no matter where you are, deserves to have a little bit of national pride. I know when they do events up here in Canada, they do the national anthem, and it's nice and it's wonderful, and usually there's somebody Canadian out there to do something. But this just trails on and on and on and on, and as much as respectful as I try to be, I don't give a shit, and it's not a good way to start the show. It's not that they shouldn't have done the package at the beginning of the show, but it just went on and on forever and ever and ever. And come on, even Captain America has gone over to Hydra now, so let's just fucking... It's fucking shit. Guys, Shane McMahon comes out, only to be interrupted by his sister's music. They trip over each other. They're being sarcastic. They're doing the bickery sibling thing, which has worked for the past couple of weeks, but I don't know, just this week it was just... They announce that SmackDown is going live on Tuesdays, which we all already know because we have the internet. We announce that it's going live, which is great. They announced that John Cena is coming tonight, as if they haven't been plugging this for like 2 months. And then the New Day come out for reasons. Part of my frustration with this is I like the New Day, and they're doing some stupid shit. They really are. Recently, they pump up the SmackDown announcement. They say, "Hey, how are we not supposed to be paranoid when we see stuff like this?" And they show a bunch of Twitter and clips on the Titantron about the brand split. They take a moment to compliment Shane on his shoes and make fun of Stephanie's shoes. And Kofi Kingston says he's part of the new era, and they mock him for being old, which is nice. They ask a bunch of questions. They accuse Steph of dodging the questions. And then Big E does his Stephanie impression by dodging imaginary dodgeballs, which is great. They ask, are you going to split us up, split up the New Day? Obviously not, because they're still the tag team championships. Where will New Day be going? They don't get an answer. Who will run SmackDown Live? Have you decided? All this stuff, and it's so fucking backwards, because Stephanie and Shane's announcement, okay, first of all, they shouldn't have announced it on social media. They should have waited until Raw, made the announcement live. You would have had a punch to the beginning of your fucking show. But basically New Day came in and talked about all the details that we don't have yet. And so it's like, here, you're announcing some stuff, but you're really not giving us any information, which is not something the WWE, I think, wanted to underline. So New Day out here was counterproductive in its entirety. And then they suggest that the Shane and Stephanie should have a dance-off to decide who's going to run what show, which is nice. Shane dances, Stephanie laughs at him. They tell Stephanie it's her turn. She gets up to dance, and at this point, I'm expecting she's going to do some fucked up Elaine from Seinfeld shit. That doesn't happen. The lights go out, and the Vaudevillians come to the ring, because the Vaudevillians have a match with the New Day. This opening segment did nothing. Absolutely nothing, and it was cut off by more nothing, because you guys at this point know how I feel about the Vaudevillains. Our first match is indeed the Vaudevillains versus the New Day. Monkey Flip by English and a boot by Kofi to start the match. Unicorn Stampede by Kofi and Big E, and the Slingshot Low Dropkick by the New Day while Xavier Woods is trumpeting on the outside. Running Knee by English and a backwards muddle. He basically puts his back to his opponent and kicks backwards, and it makes him look like a retarded mule. There's no other way for me to say this. Front face lock by Gotch, and uppercut and jabs by English. Knees in the back by English, headbutts by Gotch. Another front face lock by Gotch, because those are exciting. Tosses Kofi Kingston out of the ring as we go to commercial break. Side headlock by Gotch, DDT by Kofi, belly to belly, corner spear, and another belly to belly by Big E. Anderson and Gallows come out and attack Xavier Woods outside the ring, and then attack Kofi when he tries to help Woods. The Vaudevillains double team Big E, and the match is tossed out. Now, they didn't attack the guy that was legal, so I'm really not sure how the match was tossed out. The Vaudevillains should have been able to double team. I'm sticking up for the Vaudevillains, and I don't even like them. Here's the deal. They were double teaming the legal guy in the ring. The team that was in the match was. But the match was tossed out anyway. They hit the Magic Killer on Big E, and they're making somewhat of a statement. They go into the back. They're here to make a statement for all the tag team division, and trust us, we're not through tonight. Now, as useless as everything until this point has been, I will give them a little shred of credit. If they're going to put the club, which is still a fucked up name, into the tag team division, that is cool, because a lot of the tag teams in the tag team division are either funny, goofy, happy, bright color, bright, flashing fun, whatever. Which is fine, but we don't have any serious teams. We really, really don't. And if we're going to put Anderson and Gallows in the tag team division and let them have a run with the belts, I'm all for that. But at this point, they're clobbering a couple of guys that are like half their size. Anderson's the smaller of the two. And he's bigger than most of the members of the New Day and both of the Vaudevillains. So even when they win, it's not going to be like they've done very much. It's the same reason, and I'm not talking about Cena here, it's why I don't think Superman is much of a hero. He goes down, he beats up some criminals. Well, fuck it. Moving on. Anderson and Gallows in the back say they put the tag team division on notice. We replay, for reasons, because Apollo Crews is not on the show tonight, we replay the beatdown that he got from Sheamus last week, which caused him to lose his contendership for the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then, again, for reasons, Apollo Crews' only contribution to this show this week at all is being in the back, moping, being happy, and honest to God, I don't know why Sheamus is picking on me. And then, of course, you know you want to get bully advice from the Big Show. Awkward pep talk out of nowhere was a hashtag tonight. Moving on. Golden Truth comes out. R-Truth is in a shirt, not in his ring gear, so you know they're not having a match. They're going to be on commentary, so gee, I wonder who's in the next match. Usos squash Breezango, and then Breezango take it out on Golden Truth. Here is my problem with this. I know that I'm alone in this, and that's fine. Golden Truth is bullshit. Usos, are talented guys, but they've been pushed down our throats a lot. They could afford to pull back on them a little bit, and they could afford a clean loss to a new team. Now, Breezango, ridiculous, right? It's a combination of two ridiculous gimmicks. Tyler Breeze is a gimmick that was never going to work on the main roster, and Fandango, Johnny Curtis only got the Fandango gimmick because he fucked the wrong guy's wife. That is my theory on that. But these two guys, Johnny Curtis and whatever the guy's name is behind the Tyler Breeze character, are a good fucking team. WWE are going to use this new potential combination here to put over goofballs like Golden Truth and then squash them with the Usos. And just, why? And why? We're pushing the new era, but okay, Fandango's not exactly new. I think he's incredibly underrated. That's me. I know I'm alone in that. Tyler Breeze had a following, and it melted as soon as he left NXT. You know, the yellow flag went away, so to speak. But if WWE works quickly, does something right, they could have a good team with these two guys. We have highlights of Rollins' return at Extreme Rules, and they use it to hype up some special that's actually happening right now on the WWE Network about Rollins' recovery, which is cool if we didn't have this next segment when we have Roman Reigns coming out giving us, once again, like the commentators haven't done it enough times, a brief history of the Shield since they debuted in WWE up until now. Makes fun of Seth Rollins calling himself the man. The man is running from the guy. He calls out Rollins. Rollins on the stage. Rollins does some B-level effort Jarrah-trolling on the rampway, grabbing the mic, going to talk. Everybody stops. Everybody cheers. He doesn't talk. 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 He goes to the ring. He comes back. He goes down to the ring. He comes back. He grabs the microphone. He trolls some more. He trolls some more. He trolls some more. And then he leaves. Roman Reigns' music hits because he's achieved something here that I don't understand. And Rollins comes back, tries to jump him, makes it almost all the way to the ring, and leaves again. World Heavyweight Championship match at Money in the Bank. Yep. I got nothing. One of the things we were worried about tonight was that they only gave the United States Championship to Rusev because he was going to hand it over to John Cena tonight in his return to Raw. That would have been pretty shitty, I will admit. You know, I've always said that the best way to get a title shot is to be injured and come back. It would have been really shitty if they had just brought in John Cena to squash Rusev, who just finished squashing Kalisto, and put the United States Championship on him like he never left. That would be shitty. They didn't do that. I should be happy that they didn't do that, but what they did, oh my fucking god, is so much worse. Oh yes. Oh yes. Rusev versus Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder, who's been posting pictures of the Hype Bros on Twitter for the past couple of days, and, you know, sort of a I can't wait for Monday type of idea, making us think that the Hype Bros were going to come to Raw. Now, again, I may be alone in this, but, you know, we've sort of got a really interesting weird combination of tag teams in the tag team division right now. I wouldn't entirely mind the Hype Bros. I wouldn't entirely mind the Hype Bros being on Raw, if I'm honest with you guys. But no, instead we have Rusev versus Zack Ryder. Jabs by Ryder and a deadlift suplex by Rusev. Knee in a mud hole by Rusev and a splash. Boots and jabs by Ryder and a clothesline by Rusev. A grounded side headlock by Rusev. A double knee lift and a dropkick and a splash by Ryder. Broski boot twice by Ryder. No sold to fuck by Rusev. Fucked up super bad accolade thing, and Rusev gets the win. Rusev cuts a shitty promo making fun of America. Titus O'Neil, you know, the guy that we all felt bad for because he got suspended for laying his hands on his boss. Yeah, that guy comes out and cuts a shitty pro-USA promo and punches Rusev in the face. Which means instead of getting Rusev versus John Cena, we're getting Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. And guys, I haven't said this in a while. I really haven't, because you guys know I try to find something good in most of these shows. But I promise you for everything I am worth as a wrestling fan, the abacus to count the fucks that I do not give about Rusev versus Titus O'Neil for the United States Championship is fucking massive. Oh yes. We replay Charlotte's promo on Ric Flair from last week. Now, we don't just replay it. If it was a simple highlight package on, like, the bad promo that she did and whatever, but they treated it like something real. You know, when they're building up a WrestleMania match, when they were building up Cena versus The Rock, when they were building up Triple H versus Undertaker in the cage, and you had not only highlights, but you had various people backstage giving their own commentary because you really wanted to give weight and severity and importance to this particular event, whatever. They did that for the fucking horrible promo that Charlotte cut on her dad last week. It was bad, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Some of you out there, and you guys, you know I love you. You know I love you. I appreciate all my viewers. I appreciate the YWC, except for the idiots, and you know who you are. But some of you are on fucking crack, because that promo from last week that was hot garbage took on some sort of mythical weight and greatness that I will never, ever want to understand, because it was shit. Because it was shit. Natty is irrelevant in the Divas division right now. Charlotte is not irrelevant, but whoever gave her a microphone and said, here, use this, we think you'll be good, should be fucking fired. Oh, and fuck yes. We see Stephanie in the back telling Charlotte how she's embarrassed to have her as the women's championship holder, which is great. Why? One time I forget to turn the sound off, right? Stephanie, who's a heel. So why should we care who she's disappointed in, telling Charlotte, who's also a heel, that she's disappointed in her as champion, which is fucking great. Enzo and Cass come out. They're fighting the Dudleys, which is great, which is something they've been building towards for a while. They cut a really... And again, it's like the New Day all over again. I love these guys. I think these guys are fucking hysterical. Enzo goes out there like he's on fucking crack all the time, and it's usually entertaining. These guys stumbled through a very, very, very awkward promo about cheese, because we're in Green Bay, and apparently Green Bay likes their cheese. I don't fucking know. But the Dudleys come out, and we have a match that should be great. This should be great. This is one of the newest tag teams you got on your main roster versus one of the most legendary tag teams and one of the most decorated tag teams of all time. It should be great. It should be a match that you save for a pay-per-view. Maybe even a Big Four. Maybe even WrestleMania. But they throw it away on Raw for reasons. Cass and Bubba have a collar and elbow tie. A lot of just awkward shoving by Bubba. Just, you know, two awkward big guys in the ring. And neither one of them are. Cass is good. Bubba is who he is. Jabs by Devon and clubs to the back. Cass clotheslines Devon, tackle and a slam by Bubba. Cass tosses Enzo at Devon, and a boot by Cass sends us into commercial break. Neck vice on Enzo by Devon, and two takedowns, multiple elbow drops by Bubba, and a boot by Enzo. A tackle and a vertical suplex by Devon, and a headlock and a drop kick to Bubba by Enzo. Shoulder tackle and a splash by Cass, a double neck breaker by the Dudleys, a boot by Cass, and Air Enzo gets the win for Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Which doesn't... I just ran through it because it didn't feel important, so I don't think it should feel important in my review. This should have been fantastic. Even the commentators say, like, let's not gloss over what a big win this was for Enzo and Cass, which it is, but it doesn't feel like it because it wasn't very long. You got Enzo, who's just back from a concussion. They should have built this more. It should have been on a pay-per-view. It should have been on some kind of larger stage. Shit. Even, like, this is my problem with this Raw. Like, there's a lot of shit on this Raw, but there's a lot of stuff on this Raw that should have been really good and just wasn't. And guys, I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. There's no other way to say it. You guys know I come out here. It is my goal to be positive about wrestling. This show that we just watched makes me feel like a failure as a wrestling fan because I can't find anything good in it. But then I'm not a failure because there's nothing fucking good in it. Oh my fucking god. I'm rambling. I don't fucking care because that's how this show made me feel. Cena's big return. This is the one... Oh, and like I said in my intro, guys, when Cena's return is the only highlight of the show, we are in fucking trouble. But Cena comes out. As he's coming to the ring, right on the camera, there's a sign that says, "Uh-oh, move over, new stars." Which, at this point in the night, just made me laugh. Comes out, talks a lot about Memorial Day, talks very passionately about Memorial Day, I'll give him that. Then he gets into his comeback, he says, "I'm back, and, I have to question, do I still belong here? It's a new era, there's new faces, there's new names, and they look at me as an outsider, as an intruder, whatever. I will not go quietly. I'm still the face that runs the place, and if you guys think you're the future runs through me." AJ Styles' music hits, and I promise you guys that my heart as a wrestling fan sank just a little bit. And it's like, okay, somebody, when Cena comes back, somebody's got to be his first match. Somebody's got to walk to the gallows. No pun intended. AJ Styles comes to the ring, and we do have a legitimate cool moment because they stare at each other, and they both play to the crowd. I will give them credit for this. They both play to the crowd. AJ plays to the crowd. John Cena plays to the crowd. And my first thought was, look, it's John Cena and the John Cena of TNA. So I get that. I get that, AJ Styles has been a guy that has carried a company on his shoulders. And whether we like it or not, John Cena has the WWE on his shoulders. People slowly start to realize the moment we're having, dueling Let's Go Cena, AJ Styles chants, which is good. AJ comes out, cuts a really decent promo. People shit on him for being bad on the mic, but he's good sometimes. Says, "I've waited for this moment for a long time. I've always heard about what a great hard worker you are. You carry the company. You're the first guy in. You're the last guy out. We've been in two different worlds for a long time, but I want you to know that I respect you, and I want to be the first one to come out here and say welcome back." Offers him a handshake. Cena hesitates. I don't know why, but Anderson and Gallows come out and start talking shit to AJ. "Stop sucking up to Cena. We said we were here to make an impact. We're not here to kiss ass. We're only here to kick it." They come in, AJ's shirt comes off and Cena's shirt comes off because in wrestling, that is the universal symbol of I want to fight. I need to be topless. For reasons. So Styles and Cena are about to face off with Anderson and Gallows, but no fucking swerves, baby. 3-on-1 beatdown by Cena to a roaring "This is awesome" chant. 3 times the club, all 3 of them, go back up the rampway, and AJ runs back down through the refs, through the doctors, through his own teammates to get back and beat the fuck out of Cena. So this is what we're doing for the next little while. We sacrificed AJ to Roman Reigns, and now I think we're going to sacrifice AJ to Cena. I figure they'll have one match with sort of a Fugazi finish at Money in the Bank, and have a really, really good match at SummerSlam. Because let's be real for a second, and here I have to back up and give a little bit of credit once again. John Cena is going to come out on the good end of this feud, but I will say, look at what he did with the United States Championship Open Challenge. He beat everybody in that Open Challenge except for Alberto Del Rio, for reasons. But he did manage to have good matches with everybody. He had good matches with Owens. He had good matches before Sami Zayn threw his arm out raising the roof. He had a good match with Sami Zayn, good matches with Neville, good matches with Ambrose, good matches with a lot of people. And I do think, shoot me or not, he will have good matches with AJ Styles. But make no mistake, AJ Styles ain't winning those matches. So fuck it. No, but the turn in this segment was done really, really well. I will give WWE credit for that. And then we're back to the shit, because Natalya still hasn't gotten over that she's not the women's champion. She's got to face Charlotte's new sidekick Dana Brooke in a match that lasted about 1 minute. So Natalya mauls Dana to start with a suplex and beats her down in the ropes. Dana gets the upper hand because, she's the bodybuilder. She should be doing the power play in the match. They're building her up as this, fitness power girl. So she should be getting the upper hand quickly. Choke on the ropes by Dana and a cheap shot by Charlotte, who's obviously at ringside. Cartwheel splash by Dana. Torture rack Michinoku driver, and Dana gets the win. Now, while I will say that I do like that Dana got the victory, because I like Dana Brooke, and I'm really scared that they're going to shove her in just a sidekick role, it's not very well lived, because Charlotte comes in to soak up the spotlight. I don't care. You're going to say she's the champion, she deserves the spotlight, but she didn't do anything. She slapped Natty while Natty was facing somebody else. So double team, saved by Becky Lynch, heels bail by Becky Lynch. Good I can take from this, Dana Brooke won the match, and Becky Lynch looks strong because she's the one that chased off 2 heels. Okay, But this was the only women's match we had on the show tonight, and it was about a minute long. So where is the Divas Revolution this week? Or the women's evolution this week? We replay the low blow from Corbin versus Ziggler at Extreme Rules. And again, I know, a low blow, it's a mean, evil thing to do, right? You want to build up Corbin as this big bad heel. You want to build him up as this big asshole that cheats and whatever, and he had to resort to a low blow to win a match. But it was in a no DQ match. Low blows is legal as a wrist lock, as JR would say, so that there's nothing in there that proves that he's a bad guy. But we get announced that next we have a match between Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Again, Dolph Ziggler says, I challenge you to an amateur wrestling match or a classic wrestling match, to the point where he's interviewed in the back, talks about his wrestling history at Kent State. He's got like 100 billion victories. He's got some records, and they show... As he's coming down to the ring, they show some old team shots of him from school, which is a nice little touch. He looks more like Nikki from the Spirit Squad than he looks like Dolph Ziggler, but whatever. They come out for the wrestling match. Ziggler's doing it up. He's got the sports towel. He's got his Kent State sweater on. The whole bit. He's got his headgear. He's got the mouth guard. He's just tightening up the headgear, just getting his mouthpiece just so. Turns around to Corbin, boots him in the fucking nuts. Because fuck anything happening in that segment. I did laugh, I did pop, but at the same time, fuck this segment, and fuck this rivalry that should be over for all intents and purposes. It's done whatever it's going to do. Dolph Ziggler's got line of the night where he says, ladies and gentlemen, Dolph Ziggler has been disqualified, but your loser of the match is still Baron Corbin, which makes all kinds of sense. We have Miz. Okay, we have a video of Maurice introducing a separate video of The Miz live on Facebook talking about his role in Marine 5 and how he'll be talking to us via Facebook every week, and not to worry because he'll have the Intercontinental Championship with him. So for the next couple of weeks, our main secondary champion, because I'm sorry, it is tagged US women's cruiserweight when it comes along, all fall under the Intercontinental Championship. I don't care who's carrying it or whether you like The Miz. But our secondary champion will not be on the show for the next couple of weeks. And he's making not only are they not going to have him, they're going to have him on video, underlining the fact that he's not there. Which is great. Ambrose, Zayn, and Cesaro versus Alberto Del Rio, Owens, and Jericho. Now, I don't do this very often. Actually, I just watch this on Wrestling Jesus' videos. He will do the Raw preview over on the WJ channel, and one of the things they were teasing about this week's Raw is we were going to find out the 7th member of the Money in the Bank ladder match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now, when you have the other 6, Ambrose, Zayn, and Cesaro versus Alberto Del Rio, Owens, and Jericho, in a 3-on-3 6-man tag as your main event on Raw, you figure there's going to be a run-in, there's going to be an interference, there's going to be some grand entrance of the 7th participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Little spoiler, nothing the fuck happens. Oh yes! But we do have a match, and it's okay. Cesaro and Alberto Del Rio start, suplex by ADR and an uppercut trained by Cesaro. Cesaro hits a cannonball off the apron into Owens. Super kick to the gut by Alberto Del Rio, and Cesaro gets tossed out. He's triple teamed by the heels on the outside. Alberto Del Rio rides a headlock on him when he gets back into the ring. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Alberto Del Rio, chops by Jericho, uppercuts by Jericho to Cesaro, boots by Jericho, boots by Owens, step-up enziguri by Alberto Del Rio, which is pretty, I will give him that, deadlift vertical suplex by Cesaro, clothesline and a leg lariat by Sami Zayn, top rope crossbody, Ambrose and Jericho brawl for reasons, suicide dive by Zayn on all 3 of the heels as we go to commercial break. Owens locks a headlock on Zayn, just drops him gut first on the ropes, kicks in the back by Owens, kicks in the gut by Alberto Del Rio. Zayn's in the Tree of Woe and eats some more Daniel Bryan silly kicks from Alberto Del Rio in the Tree of Woe, and then he pulls him down out of the Tree of Woe and into a headlock. Jericho and Alberto Del Rio double team Zayn for a while in the ropes, mounted punches by Jericho, and he exchanges chops and elbows with Zayn. Boot by Jericho, Blue Thunder Bomb by Zayn. Rolling clotheslines by Ambrose to Jericho, a splash and a bulldog by Ambrose, a boot by Ambrose and an enziguri by Jericho. The lion salt misses, Jericho's tossed out of the ring, suicide dive by Ambrose, and while he's out there, just for the fun of it, he tosses Ambrose into the guardrail. Standing elbow drop by Ambrose on Jericho, but Jericho counters whatever the fuck was going to happen next. I think it was a rebound clothesline. That gets countered into a codebreaker. Owens tries to steal the pin from his partner for no reason while his team is winning. So Owens and Jericho argue. Swing on Jericho by Cesaro. Backstabber to Cesaro by Alberto Del Rio. Haluva kick to Alberto Del Rio by Zayn. Owens super kicks Zayn. Ambrose hits the dirty deeds on Owens and the babyfaces win the match. And nothing else happens. The babyfaces win. And thanks for coming out tonight, guys. Again, one more time. I'm going to say it one more time for the good times. Cena was the highlight of this show, or what happened to Cena was the highlight of this show, and that's not fucking good. I'm fucking done. I can't even believe I did a review for this show. I'm gonna say it one more time. I will try to find the good in anything. I really will, and I'm accused of being too positive on this channel, but I fucking can't tonight, guys. I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye.
You're a freak like me.